After the no race we had in Belgium, we move on to the second race in the triple header. Welcome to the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix. It's round 13 on the calendar. Next weekend we're in Tifosi land at Monza, Italy, before a 2-week break before we go to Russia, and then 2 weeks later it's the Turkish Grand Prix, now on a new date of the 8th to the 10th of October. 2 weeks time, then it's United States Grand Prix, followed then by another triple header, starting off with Mexico on the 7th of November, Brazil on the 14th, and a to-be-confirmed race on the 21st that is rumoured to be back for the first time at Qatar at the Losail International Circuit. Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi remain on their original dates to round out the season in December. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton is still the leader on 202.5 points. He's only 3 points back to Max Verstappen on a 199.5. Lucky half points will not decide this title like it did in 1984 against Lauda and Prost. Then it's Lando Norris now back in third place ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Sergio Perez leads Carlos Sainz on by 83.5. Then it's Charles Leclerc in 7th, Danny Ricciardo 8th, Pierre Gasly 9th, and Esteban Ocon rounds out in 10th place. On the second page, no one's really moved around. Alonso still 11th, followed by Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll 14th. George Russell now gets 13 points on the board with second place at the Belgian Grand Prix. He's ahead of his teammate Nicholas Latifi. Kimi Raikkonen is 17th, a point ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi, and still no points for Haas with Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes lead the way on 310.5 points, 7 points back at Red Bull Racing on 303.5. The battle for third between McLaren and Ferrari heating up, with McLaren being ahead of Ferrari by 4.5 points. Then go down the order, we will see the fact that Alpine are battling AlphaTauri, there are 8 points between them as well. Aston Martin is sneaking up on that battle. Williams now on 20 points, they've scored more than Red Bull in the last 2 races. Alfa Romeo only have 3 and still no points on the board for Haas. It's the 2021 Dutch Grand Prix here in Zandvoort, and this is your Grand Prix preview. Hello everybody and welcome to your Grand Prix preview for the Dutch Grand Prix. I'm slightly more casual, Megan's slightly more dressed up like it's a race day as well. Did you not get the memo that it's dressed down Thursday?
Yeah, though this is how I always dress, just with everything.
I'm not surprised. Well, you do look very nice. I've gone for slightly more chilled out. It's very cold in the UK today. It's very cold in Zandvoort, despite it being a beach venue as well.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Coming into this weekend then, the big news as you come in as well, let's talk about the Belgian Grand Prix that never was as well. Half points awarded. It now just leaves 3 points between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming into Zandvoort as well. The anticipation is high, the pressure is high that we could see either Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen take the lead of the title here at this fantastic circuit. Who do you think is going to be it?
Well, you've got to look who's better in certain types of conditions, haven't you?
Dry conditions out there. Is it Max Verstappen's to go for, or can Lewis sway something for his 100th Grand Prix win?
I don't know. I think Lewis is a bit more cautious in the wet. Though Max, as we saw last time, is just like, yay, go, go, go.
Max has won 6 races this year. Lewis has only won 4, believe it or not, as well. Ocon and Perez, the odd one out to round it up to the season as well. It's a very tricky situation as to know who's going to be where, but more press rumours keep circulating. We had it announced at the Belgian Grand Prix, Sergio Perez will be staying with Red Bull for 2022. But as we start the Thursday news as well, coming into this weekend, it's been announced that the rumour we predicted looks like it's going to happen, because Kimi Raikkonen, the 2007 Formula 1 World Champion, announced that this will be his last year in Formula 1. He's leaving the sport and leaving Alfa Romeo.
That makes me really sad.
Makes me sad as well. But
and he never got to do his last Belgian Grand Prix.
No, he didn't, and that's another annoyance. But is it sort of fitting that this is Kimi's last year? I mean, he's been in it now for 20 years, since 2001.
I don't know. It makes an even 20.
He did have 2 seasons out in 9 and 10, though, when he went rallying.
Why doesn't he stay on for another 2 years? Though I guess it will give a bit more time for Kimi to spend with his kids and his wife.
So what he said, actually, family seems to be more his important role in the past couple of years as well. We always remember his last victory at the 2018 United States Grand Prix. Just me and you in the box for that one, actually, because Dad was ill at the time.
Have you seen his Instagram where he was just filming his 2 kids doing that car thing, and his daughter was just checking the car like a mechanic while someone was driving?
Oh, the Raikkonens are coming. And even Kimi's son is actually faster than him in some points at the go-kart, so he's quick. Another news as well, that sort of kicked off the silly season rumours, because as we expected as well, we expect it's going to be that Kimi's going to leave Alfa Romeo, as well as Antonio Giovinazzi. Valtteri Bottas will be announced as he will be replacing Kimi Raikkonen at the team. And then
I could see that.
Yeah, I could as well. And then going forward, it'll be announced that George Russell is replacing Bottas at Mercedes. And then replacing at Williams, George Russell will be...
Giovinazzi?
No, not Giovinazzi.
Who?
Alexander Albon.
Oh, it'd be nice to have Albon in.
And
again.
That rumour was strengthened as well this weekend, where Alexander Albon's girlfriend followed the Williams teams. Sorry?
Where's Gio going?
Gio's not going anywhere. He's been kicked. The rumour is he's going to be at the Ferrari factory World Endurance Championship as they go on for their campaign in the hyperclass.
Jeez.
So taking Giovinazzi's seat at Alfa Romeo is Nick de Vries, who is the first ever Dutch world champion and the champion currently of FIA Formula E. So it looks like that's the way it's going.
That'd be interesting.
So at Alfa Romeo, out is Kimi, out is Giovinazzi, in is Bottas and de Vries. Bottas now out of Mercedes, so in at Mercedes, Hamilton and George Russell. And at Williams, Nicholas Latifi alongside... Alexander Albon, and as I said, Bottas and de Vries at Alfa.
I just realised, if George really does go to Mercedes, then it'll be a Brit team with a German collective team.
I know it's happened before. It's happened before, but it's a very weird setup.
That's going to be interesting.
So it is a very interesting one setting up. I'd love to know what your predictions are of who's going to end up where. That's the paddock rumour as well. It's sort of the worst kept secret that Raikkonen was retiring. It's the worst kept secret that Bottas is off to Alfa Romeo. But everything else keeps circulating. It all broke last weekend when we came back. We haven't actually had a race now since the Hungarian Grand Prix. But something that we pointed out in the Grand Prix in Belgium is we've had 5 races this year affected for red flags. That equals 1984's record. But we've had 6 red flag periods. And that is the most red flags in one season. Emilia-Romagna, Azerbaijan, the British Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix, and then 2 at the Belgian Grand Prix, taking up to 6 as well. That is Michael Masi a bit trigger happy with these red flags these days?
A little bit, though something tells me he's going to continue to be trigger happy in the next races.
Tricky circuit, this one as well. It's tight, narrow, 14 corners as well, not very wide. In fact, the track is about as wide as this commentary box and in total length as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a very wide circuit. There's 3 banked corners on it as well. How do you see this weekend turning out? A lot of safety cars, a lot of accidents?
Hold on.
Megan's now calculating from that end of the commentary box to the other how big the track actually is. Yeah, it's as big as the commentary box. And that's how scary it is. But honestly, Megs...
How are they going to overtake?
I don't know. Overtaking is very, very tricky around here. Who do you see coming into this weekend that's going to have a more optimistic chance of overtaking? Is there going to be a lot of safety cars? Could we even see another red flag?
I think the person who's definitely going to be the best at overtaking maybe at this circuit, I don't know why, though... The name Sainz comes to mind.
Ferrari. I was going to thought
Ferrari seems to be quite good at tight spaces, and I think there will be, if it's not a red flag, then there's at least going to be maybe a safety car because of how
tight it is.
Track is.
It's the Aston Martin safety car back in this weekend as well. The wonderful Vantage as well, and we all love it. The beautiful green, of course, safety car. Now, coming into Zandvoort as well, it's important to get to know the track. I've spent a lot of time over the past 24 hours familiarising myself with Zandvoort as well. Got an eSport race later on tonight on BBB Sports as well at Zandvoort for the Benelux Series. But this track as well, it's tight, it's twisty, but it's very demanding. Let's take a look. On board with the Red Bull from 2021 with the Codemasters game, here's Lap Attack around the circuit Zandvoort. Let's take a look around Zandvoort, a 4.259 kilometre circuit, 72 laps ahead of us. First time we've been here since 1985. The circuit's been on the calendar though since 1952. Start the lap at the exit of turn 14, flat out as you approach the line in 8th gear. Come down towards the banked turn 1. Down now to 3rd gear, 70 miles an hour. Put the power down mid-exit as well. Control the rear slide as you head up towards turn 2. 6th gear, 130 kilometers an hour. Blind as you come down to turn 3 as well. 50 miles an hour in 2nd gear. Banked, power mid-exit as you approach up turns 4 and 5. Flat out segment of the track in 8th gear. Turn 6 then catches up on you. Drop down 7th gear, 150 miles per hour before you come into the braking zone of turn 7. Drop down 6th gear, 140. Lift, flat out, watch out for the gravel sand. Turn 8, 3rd gear, down into 80 miles an hour. The same, drop 5 more miles per hour to turn 9, 3rd gear. Hairpin left-hander, overspeed at the exit could lead into a spin. Open up the DRS as you approach into turn 10. Drop once again down to 3rd gear, 75 miles an hour. Heavy braking zone, lot of lockups possible. Into turn 11 and 12, 2nd gear, up to 4th gear now at 105 miles an hour. A short switch back right to was easy to spin as well as you approach turn 13. Let the car grind its way through as you approach the banking. Flat out 7th gear, you reach 8 as you approach the line, and that is a lap of Zandvoort. Wonderful circuit as well. Wonderful overtaking opportunities if people want to be daring enough. 3 banked corners as well. A lot of high-speed section. They describe this track as a roller coaster. Have done since the 80s. First race here since 1985 as well. Very much revamped. How mad are the Dutch fans going to be this weekend?
I think they're going to be raving, basically.
Yeah. Sea of orange?
Very, very, very much orange.
I think we need to have some orange highlighters on as well and some orange stuff once again. But it's going to be a great one. Megan, predict me who's going to be quick tomorrow in practice.
Even though I think the Ferraris will be good at overtaking, I have a little bit of a feeling that maybe the Alpines will be a bit faster.
They're their type of track?
Yeah, it just seems like they're quite... We saw with Ocon.
Any chance?
That type of track's good for them.
Any chance Ferrari, if this is another Monaco as well? We expected them in Hungary. They didn't turn up. Chance it could turn up here this weekend?
Hopefully.
Fantastic. Well, Megan will be joining us across the practice sessions, qualifying and the racing, and Birch will be with us once again this weekend, as he always is, unless he's not well. And we'll hope to see you all throughout the weekend. Let's give you the coverage details then for the Dutch Grand Prix. It's your standard European times then. 10:20 for practice 1 with the session underway at 10:30. Practice 2 is at 2 o'clock. We're underway at 1:50. Saturday, big day, practice at 10:50, gets underway at 11. Qualifying is at 2 o'clock. We're on air 20 minutes before with our build-up show. The W Series is at 3:25 as well with Megan Lead commentating. And then Sunday, you can join us for the race, 1:30 for our half-hour build-up. And then straight after the race as well, live reaction down there at 4:15. Depending on whether there's a red flag or not, we'll be in for our Grand Prix race review, which will be more like a forum straight after the race. Nothing else on this weekend, just good old Formula One, which means we can devote 110% of our broadcast team to it as well, and everything going to be very exciting. Join us throughout the weekend here, but Megan, even before the weekend begins, pick a winner.
Well, let's all hope Max, because it's his own race. So I'm going to go Max, though I'm also looking for a bit of a quite good thing for McLaren.
Good spot there. Thanks, Megs. And we'll be back tomorrow morning at 10:20 for all of the action for the first practice session. Good night to you all.